Hello, everyone. My name is Catherine Milleron. This here is my guest, Gina Zimmerman.
Hey, how you doing?
And she is also my daughter. And I want to welcome you to Make It Make Sense. So, what we are going to talk about today is what is going on currently in our world. And we want to bring awareness to the population because our news media and social media are both being so heavily censored right now that I don't know how much truth is actually getting out there. So I'm taking it upon myself to report the truth of what is happening so that you will be aware. I raised this girl here as a single mom. Her dad and I split up when she was 6 months old. And I've been through a lot of hard times in my life, but I feel like that it has prepared me for what is happening now because I consider myself to be a very strong woman and I am a fighter. And that is my attitude about what is happening is that I'm going to fight.
Yeah, I mean, she raises a valid point. I mean, I kind of feel like we grew up together in a sense because I'm like, she wasn't like a super young mom, but by today's standards, she definitely was a young mom.
I was 21 when I had her.
Right. So we went through a lot together, and it's definitely taught me how to be resilient and adaptive, and to like how to take action in times where like things look dicey, for sure. So I also feel that I'm pretty well equipped in this time. But yeah.
All right. So, what we want to do today, I'm going to let Gina start off and giving us some information because you know what? We don't want to forget history because if you forget history, sometimes it has a tendency to repeat itself, which is what we're seeing right now. So, I'm going to allow Gina some time to talk about the rise of the Third Reich in Nazi Germany. And we are going to compare and contrast that to what is happening now.
Okay, so basically, so we're gonna talk about Hitler, who came into power in 1933. He used propaganda to get everybody on his side, basically, or what seemed like everybody. But he used media and traditional campaign methods to spread their message. So that is very similar to what we're seeing today, especially with the like censorship that we're seeing with things happening. But even before that, with news media, like sane washing the things that he would say and do, and they would act like it was normal, and it's completely not normal at all or okay. But yeah, the propaganda is heavy and it is prevalent, and especially now with the censorship that is happening. And then also at the time, Germany's democracy was pretty weak, which also helped him rise to power. So if you're thinking about it in terms of what's happening now, I mean, we've seen our democracy be rocked by like the events that have taken place. I mean, the like them instilling like this idea that like our elections are not free and fair, which has happened since 2016, has been a gradual chipping away at our like election integrity and like our like faith in our systems as a whole. And when the problem with our democracy up until this point has always been like it is based on good faith mostly and people doing the right thing, decorum. And I think that they definitely know that. There are a lot of things that they have done to suggest that. Not doing what's right. I mean, when Trump was elected the first time, or was it when he was elected the first time, or when Biden was elected? That I'm thinking of. I think it was when.
I think you're thinking of when Biden.
Yeah, when Biden was elected, and he didn't go to the inauguration, and he kind of bowed out in shame, and it wasn't a peaceful transfer of power. J6 happened and all that. All of these principles are based on what you should do as a good person or a good society. It's all up until this point we've known that these are kind of unwritten, unspoken rules that we all abide by because we're good people, blah blah blah, and nothing is written in stone. So they've definitely taken advantage of that. But that's a weak point in our democracy that they've completely taken advantage of. Yeah. Do you want to add anything to that?
Yes, I do. Because what has happened over the last, we can't say 4 years because it's been happening since before Donald Trump was even elected the first time. But what he has done is he is normalizing things that we would normally not accept. And he's trying to normalize them. And he has been through propaganda and through his rhetoric and his messages. So he is normalizing racism. He is normalizing misogyny. He is normalizing all of these things that are in reality terrible, but he's making it quote unquote normal, so that people will just accept whatever he says and line up with whatever he is wanting to do. And of course, we have seen what has happened. I'll tell you today, I went on and I canceled my Amazon membership. And they asked me for comments on why I was canceling. And I said that due to the CEO, Jeff Bezos, aligning himself with Donald Trump, I can no longer support his business. And then it asked me a list of the 1 through 5 kind of questions. And I did that. And then it said at the end, is there anything else that you would like to say? And I said, do not align with the oligarchy and eat the rich, is what I said. So I was a bit sarcastic, but I was being honest because I canceled my Walmart membership as soon as Walmart decided they were pulling out of DEI. And they were pulling all of their Black Lives Matter and LGBTQ merchandise out of their stores. So as soon as they did that, I canceled. I had a Walmart membership for years, and I ordered my groceries from them, canceled my membership, and refused to shop there. And so I did the same thing today. But there are so many businesses, billionaires, people just lining up to kiss that ring and bend the knee. And that is one thing that I nor my daughter will ever do. And yes, so the similarities, if you'd like to talk any more about the similarities and what did happen with the Third Reich and the Nazi Germany situation. How much did you say? You said it took 52 days?
I think 52, 53, 54, something like that. 50 something days from when Hitler came into power in 1933 until there were people dying in gas chambers. And they used the same kind of propaganda, the same shock and awe methods. I mean, things coming out so quickly that it would make your head spin, and make you afraid and wanting to fall in line and, not wanting to get in trouble. I mean, it's the same thing that's happening here.
Yes, and it's the we are dealing, of course, right now, right even here in our own area. Right now, we're in Indiana, and we are dealing with ICE agents flooding the smaller cities here in southern Indiana. They're also in Louisville, Kentucky. and then other places in cities in Kentucky that I've heard in Lexington, Kentucky as well. So, they call these mass deportations. And what people have to understand about that is that, yes, they do have planes and they have already sent some people back to various countries. But what they plan to do with the majority of them is they are going to place them into work camps in prison. Their sentence for
Hold up. Now, I do want to say
okay, go
about
ahead.
the planes
Mm-hmm.
is that I did hear today that there was a plane that was scheduled to land in Mexico that Mexico was like, you ain't landing here.
They did.
So what is going to happen with these people is that they are going to end up in prison and the prison system to sit and like rot. I don't know. What are they going to do with them? It's not super clear at the moment, but you can guess what's going to end up happening to these people. Yeah, they're going to sit in the prison system and until further notice. Like, it's not good.
Yes, none of it is good. They've already set up and they've already worked out deals with these private prison companies to coordinate this effort in putting people into these work camps. And it'll be basically forced labor for a very minimal wage. It's the same thing as people who are currently in prison, except they make license plates or whatever else it is that they do, and they're paid pennies on the dollar to do it. And the money goes, I'm guessing, most likely into their commissary. So it's going to be the same type of thing. So whenever I had expressed my concerns about the economic impact of mass deportation to someone that I'm close to, won't name names. And I said, what's going to happen when there's no one to farm the crops and there's no one to process the meat and there's no one to build the houses and all of the jobs that the people who have been in this country have been doing for years and years and years, and doing it for a lower wage than what Americans would do it for. So what's going to happen? And how are we going to balance that out? And this person said, oh, well, I really think that they'll figure out a way to balance it out so it's not so, impactful economically. And, we're talking about food shortages. We're talking about supply and demand here. So we're talking about prices definitely going up on your groceries that are already high enough as it is. But can we see the big picture here? And can we see that this is the solution? Making people work for pennies on the dollar?
Yeah.
Can we see that that's the solution?
Yeah, I mean the camps, the facilities are already being built or have already been built.
Yes.
This has never been about just illegal immigrants or people doing crimes. This is about like for one, punishing these people, like anybody who's like not just people who are criminals, which I mean that's in and of itself that like is not a great descriptor of like who is and who isn't a criminal according to like their reasoning for like why they're being deported. But like like anybody who is brown, basically, I'm just gonna come out and say it. Like, if you look like an immigrant in any capacity or have a different skin tone that's not that one, you could be detained and put in these places. I mean, it's a way to have legal slavery.
Yes, and ICE is performing or carrying out these deportations illegally because they're doing them without warrants. So they don't have warrants. They're raiding these people's homes, businesses, and schools, And I was so proud of Chicago. I saw a teacher that is on TikTok that I follow that I love dearly. And he wasn't in Chicago, but he was saying that at one particular school, they refused to let them in the school. They were like, "You're not taking our children." Mm-hmm. But they are attempting to go into schools and take children right out of school. And can someone please, rhetorically, I will ask, what crimes have these children committed? And I'll let you decide how you want to answer that question.
Being brown. I'll answer it.
Being brown.
Being
yes.
brown.
And so we're just waiting to see what's going to stem from all of this. Can you do me a favor and pull up the House Bill 1484 that Mississippi passed? Or
Yeah. Yes. Give us just 1 second. All right. So Mississippi House Bill 1484. So it is about illegal aliens and what they plan to do with illegal aliens. So basically, let's see here. I lost my place, but basically, and you can look it up on the website for
just Google House Bill 1484. It'll come up
for Mississippi. But basically, what they're going to do with these people is they're punishable, like just for being an illegal alien, they are punishable with life in prison. And it's also, this bill also is a bounty hunter program. So it introduces this idea that if you are a person who reports an illegal alien, you're a bounty hunter and you can get $1,000 for turning somebody in. But yeah, that's basically the gist of it.
Yeah, and the punishment is life in prison. So this goes back to when they refer to quote unquote mass deportations. And they can't mass deport people because it takes a very long time to go through that process. So they can't immediately be sent back to their home country in a lot of these cases. So what do they do with them until they are sent back to their country, which at this point they would probably be better off if they could be sent back to their home country. But they will be kept in camps. So I don't know about you, but I find that deplorable. These are human beings. And I still have that picture very vividly in my mind of all of the people who were in cages and separated from their families and children separated from their parents and all of that. And it was horrible to watch. And it's happening again, but on a much larger scale.
I mean, the people in cages, I mean, that's been happening for a long time.
Yes.
Just since Obama, maybe before, but yeah.
But it was ramped up during the Trump administration.
The issue is the whole system of immigration. And I 100% agree that the system does not work.
I agree with that too.
It's not efficient. But doing this, saying that you're going to deport however many people, 20 million, whatever Donald Trump said that he was going to do. First of all, there's not that many illegal immigrants here in the first place. But to say that you're going to do this and all of these people are going to be deported is just not true, because the system is already backlogged so much. I don't think people understand what happens when a person is detained by ICE and they're taken to these facilities and quote unquote deported. They don't just get sent back to their home countries. They have to go into these holding facilities where their case has to be heard and determined by, I don't know, a judge, somebody. But that process can take years because the system is overloaded all the time. So doing this with like trying to go ahead and deport all these people is it's a lie, basically. I mean, like, they know how this stuff works. It's a lie, and these people are going to end up in these contracted prisons, which are, let's call it what it's going to be. They're going to be work camps.
And to compare and contrast with the Nazi regime, what were they called then? Concentration camps. And you may as well just go ahead and say it. I'm going to go ahead and say it. It's the same thing. It's the same processes, the same procedures, and that's exactly how it started in Nazi Germany, was with mass deportations. So we just need to look at the big picture and see what we have here in our country.
If you're thinking for a second that would never happen here in this country, like, we would never have concentration camps, it's happened before. It's happened before. Was it Pearl Harbor was World War II, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so there were the Japanese internment camps. After that, anybody who was Japanese, and I'm sure even if they weren't Japanese, if they were Japanese looking, they got put into these camps. Like, it has happened before, and it is happening again.
Yeah, it's happening.
Make no mistake about that.
Please make no mistake about it. Make no mistake about what the truth is. And, we can use Elon Musk gesture that he did, as everyone's calling it.
The Nazi salute.
The Nazi salute that he did, not once, not twice, but 3 times. He actually did it during the parade, then it twice on stage behind the presidential seal. So you can call it what you want or make any excuses you want. It was a Nazi salute.
Girl, it was a Nazi salute.
Yes,
but
yes.
We're not entertaining any of that.
No, we're not entertaining any of that because
you saw what you saw.
You saw what you saw, and Elon Musk is a Nazi, and so is Donald Trump, and that is the truth. And what they want, their goal is white supremacy, and because white is right, and anybody that doesn't line up with white is right, well, you just you're just part of you're canceled. So. I was told also by the same loved one I've been referring to that I should be careful about what I say because I could be put on a list. And I said, they can put me on a list. Go right ahead and put me on a list. Because,
me too.
Yeah.
Put me on the list.
Yeah, put me on a list because I'm not backing down, and I'm not going to be quiet. I'm going to continue to speak out about what is happening because we all need to know and we all need to be aware. And I care too much about humanity to be quiet while our country is crumbling under a fascist regime. And the one thing about fascist regimes, I have a hard time saying that, is they don't last. So, I hope it's going to be sooner rather than later because there is speculation that something is being done about this behind the scenes. And boy, do I hope that is happening. But I have another creator that I follow, and her name is the Empress CJJ, and I'm gonna tag her in this video. But she always says, you need to act as if no one is coming for you and no one's coming to help us. We have to help ourselves. And that is what we must do as Americans. We must stand up for democracy. We must stand up for our rights and for our freedom. And I posted on my socials the quote of "Give me liberty or give me death." And I stated very vehemently that if I cannot have liberty and it comes down to it and I have to choose to not have liberty, then give me death. And if I did end up in a work camp, I would just have to end up in a work camp. Or if I ended up having to sacrifice my life in place of my freedom, I would be willing to do that. Because I am not, me and her and I, we had long discussions before the election and before Donald Trump, got into the office and stole the election, as we know he did. Which I'm not going to beat around the bush on that one either. He admitted to it.
That's not even an argument at this point.
Yeah,
the man admitted to it on camera.
He stole the election.
Come on,
rigged the election. So he's not even the rightful president. He's not even legally the president, but he's there and he's wreaking havoc. And we talked about leaving the country. That was what we talked about. We were scared. We were really scared of what was to come. And now it's here. But we're not scared. We're mad. We're angry. And I'm not going anywhere. I'm not leaving my home country that I do love. I don't love what it is right now, but I was raised very patriotic.
I mean, come on. I'm a millennial. I
Yeah.
was raised on the same ideals, like of how like great this country is, and like based on our history and like what we've been through and what we've accomplished and what we've overcome and what we will continue to overcome. Like, if you didn't pay attention in history class, like, I'm sorry, but like, you've got some catching up to do at this point.
Yes.
This is not what the American experiment is about. Okay.
No.
I grew up with the idea that it is a melting pot. That is what was conveyed to me over and over and over as a child. A melting pot. That was the idea.
Yes.
And a melting pot consists of people from all different backgrounds melting together, coming together, making this country amazing. Because it is far more amazing with us coming together from different parts of the world. That's what America is. That's what I believe it is. That's what I've always believed that it is. Everyone has something different to contribute, and that is what's beautiful about it, and that's what makes it amazing. Because there truly is no other place in the world where that is the case.
Yes. And as, not that I necessarily want to quote her right now, because I'm not going to lie, I'm not too happy right now with Kamala Harris or Joe Biden. This isn't about even a party thing. It's not about Democrat or Republican, but Kamala Harris.
Yeah, this is a human issue.
Yes, it's a human issue. I don't care what side of the aisle you're on. I've decided I'm on neither side. So that's how I feel about it. But she did say several times during her campaign, we have more in common than what separates us. And I believe she is right. And this is the time for unity. This country has been too divided for too long. And it's all because we're being fed propaganda, lies, and rhetoric that has divided us. And we need to come together. And like I said, I don't care who you voted for. I don't care what side of the aisle you are on. We as humans need to come together and save our democracy. That's what we need to do.
If you, first of all, if you are watching the mainstream media, turn that shit off.
Turn it off.
Turn it off. Because, like, they are not giving you the information that you need to have. Please, I beg of you, like, if you can, if you have a VPN, if you want to use a different browser other than Google, like, look up, like, news sites from other countries and what they're saying about us right now. And you will find that they are absolutely not okay with what is happening here. There are massive protests going on right now for us. They're concerned, and as they should be, because this affects them too.
It affects the entire world. What is happening? We
are not alone in this. I know that the mainstream news media would love to make you think that we're alone in this and that everybody else in the world is falling in line, but that is absolutely not the case.
No, it's not the case at all. And it's not what our plan is. And I feel like that for the majority of Americans, it's not their plan either. So we all have to come together. And the biggest thing that we can do right now is get out the information.
Spread the word.
Spread the word.
Get around
information.
Get around all of the censorship that is happening. Use coded language if you have to. I don't care. But, like, I know everybody's leaving Meta and leaving TikTok because of what is happening right now. But if you can and if you're willing to, please stay on those platforms, because we need your voice.
Mm-hmm.
We need your voice to spread the word. Even if I don't care how many followers you have, it doesn't matter how many people you reach. If no one likes your content, your whatever you post it.
Post it anyway.
Please speak up.
Speak up. Yes, please. So we are going to end it here, and I just hope that this resonates with you, and I hope that maybe you've learned something from this. And I'm going to continue. I had a different plan for the platform for this podcast, but I
had a different plan for my TikTok account too.
But since all of this has happened, I have definitely changed my platform, and I'm going to continue to provide information as much as I can, and I'm going to continue to fight. I have been posting so much on my socials because I'm going to keep fighting, and anything else I can do to fight, I'm going to keep fighting. So I appreciate each and every one of you, and I ask that you please give me a like and subscribe and comment. All of those things help, and just keep spreading the word.
Oh, and just one more thing.
Yes.
Stop giving your money to the billionaires.
Yes.
Stop doing it.
Yeah.
Okay. That's all.
Yeah.
That's all I wanted
Shop
to
some.
add.
Shop some.
Shop small.
Small businesses.
Yeah.
Black-owned businesses.
Black-owned businesses.
Minority-owned businesses. Yes, please stop giving your money to billionaires. Target had to be canceled too, y'all. They had to be canceled. I'm sure y'all know why, but they're canceled. Walmart's canceled. Amazon's canceled.
McDonald's is canceled.
McDonald's is canceled.
Lowe's is canceled.
Yes. So
lock in.
Yeah, get your Costco memberships. Shop at Aldi's.
Shop at Aldi.
Yes.
They're great.
Yes, and shop small businesses.
Right.
Please.
Like mine.
Yes.
Ramblin' Rags.
Bye.
Bye.